Good morning, students. I'm Shaila Goel, your psychology teacher. Today, I'm going to continue with the topic psychological disorders, under which there is a category known as somatic symptom and related disorder. The first in line is somatic symptom disorder. In this, we have symptoms, we go to the doctor, we are continuously worried about health. To go into the details, somatic symptom disorder was noted in DSM 5. Excessive thoughts, feelings, or behaviors related to the somatic symptoms or associated health concerns as manifested by at least one of the following: disappropriate and persistent thoughts about the seriousness of one's symptoms, persistently high level of anxiety about health or symptoms, or excessive time and energy devoted to these symptoms or health concerns. Typically, this is for the more than 6 months. Students, what happens in this is that a person believes that he or she is suffering from the disorder. Okay, any kind of a disorder. It can be pneumonia, it can be flu, it can be anything else. Now, whatever the symptoms are, for that symptoms he is excessively worried. He goes to the doctor, show his condition, takes a prescription, go for test, and then again he or she is worried about some other things. Due to this, he is constantly worrying about his own body health and taking care of very small symptoms, right? He is devoting extra energy and time on the small symptoms as well as the health concern. There is an excessive amount of anxiety because of this. Next is illness anxiety disorder. As the name suggests, there is an anxiety because of the illness. Now we are suffering from the anxiety because we think that we have certain kind of an illness. We don't agree to a doctor or a professional, medical professional, and the results of the test that we don't have it if they reassure us. Preoccupation of with having or acquiring a serious illness. Why there is a preoccupation? It may be due to the family history, it may be due to the current circumstances. For example, in today's time of COVID-19, every other person who is suffering from fever may think that he or she is having COVID-19. So this is a disappropriate or preoccupation with the symptoms which are excessive, right? Somatic symptoms are not there, right? Small symptoms are not there. If another medical condition is present or there is a high risk for developing a medical condition, for example, strong family history is present, the preoccupation is clearly excessive or disproportionate. For example, that I have given you COVID-19. The things are there in the present scenario. So if the person is having the thought process about having or acquiring a serious illness, then it is okay. There is high level of anxiety about health and the individual is easily alarmed about personal health status. The individual performs excessive health related behavior. Because of the preoccupation with the disease that I am having it or I may develop it, due to all these preoccupations, the person takes care of his own health a lot. Last is conversion disorder. In this disorder, a person loses the ability of one or more organs. There is no biological cause behind it. It can be due to the trauma. It can be after a very emotional state. There is a report existence of a severe physical problem like paralysis and blindness, and we can't say that it is a fake. A person can move and he is not moving, or a person can see and reporting not seeing. This is not so. A person is really unable to move or unable to see. There is no biological cause behind this problem. During the early times, Hitler also developed a blindness when the Germany lost in German Revolution. So that is due to the severe stress because he was not expecting those results. So conversion disorder needs to be taken very seriously. Now students, another category of disorder is dissociative disorder. Dissociative disorder is, to explain this further, let us see about a person who is moving. Maybe you have seen 1 minute you got in the car and the next, but you can't actually remember the details of the drive, right? You have reached somewhere and you are not remembering anything. This is dissociation and it is very temporary. It is a mental state where you are not able to recollect what is going on. If it is something or someone that requires important attention, you will snap out of it. But for some people, dissociation is real. In fact, the feeling of disconnection may become so intense that a person stops from functioning normally in the day-to-day life. When this is the case, we say the person has dissociative disorder. Dissociative disorders are a group of disorders that cause an impaired living, action, thoughts, physical sensations, and even identity. Dissociative disorder tend to stem usually from the trauma that is started from the childhood. It can be abuse or neglect and are thought to be disorienting. Dissociative disorders are divided into three main types: depersonalization or derealization, dissociative amnesia, and dissociative identity disorder. Each of these disorders fall among a spectrum of severity, with depersonalization being the least severe of dissociative disorder. Dissociative amnesia comes in the middle, and dissociative identity disorder being the most excessively. Typically, individuals with more severe dissociative disorder may fall in the dissociative identity disorder. With depersonalization and or derealization disorder, depersonalization refers to a feeling of away from oneself, your own self, while derealization refers to feeling that the world around you is not fully real. Those with the disorders often feel that they are watching themselves like they are watching a movie. They might feel emotionally or physically numb, a weak sense of self. Individual with depersonalization or derealization does not have deadpan speech. They have weak sense of self and they have trouble making relationship. In the severe form, they do not recognize the familiar places, people, or even objects. Other symptoms can be slow brain fog or lightheadedness and being prone to rumination and anxiety. Dissociative amnesia is when a person blocks out or forgets important events that most people would remember for a lifetime, like when they have where they live, what their mother looked like. Dissociative amnesia can be divided into four types: localized, generalized, systematized, and continuous. Most people with dissociative amnesia have localized amnesia, meaning they have trouble recalling a traumatic event. Sometimes the memory loss is broader and includes months or years surrounding the event. In generalized amnesia is where the person can't remember any of their past, even non-traumatic events. The onset of the sudden stress induced and dissociative fugue is a disorientation and there is a wandering from the place. They are confused about who they are. They temporarily lose their identity. They can even lose their deeply ingrained skills. Like if a person knows how to use computer, they can even forget how to use a laptop or a computer. So it is very difficult to understand. Next is systemized. They forget to category of information associated with trauma, like a person or a location or a part of life. Continuous is in which a person forgets new event after it has happened. Retain nothing but present moment doesn't always relate to trauma. Now, students, dissociative identity disorder is also known as multiple personality disorder. In this, there are two distinct identities or more than two distinct identities. The alternatives are different and they talk, act differently. Like in the afternoon, a person may be a doctor. In the evening, he may be a party goer. Their taste, the political views, age, gender, nationality, everything is different. They have completely taken over the body and the mind. The people may be aware or may not be aware of their different identity. They forget portions of their day where they have attained the different identities and do not understand what is going on. There may be a fuse where they have wandered away, but it is not 100% there. It can endanger the person also because there can be risky behavior that a person can engage in, and it can also lead to suicidal almost 3/4 of the attempt at least once. So students, it is very important that we understand each and every dissociative disorder clearly. We don't need to do the dissociative amnesia parts, but then also you should understand every part. The 5 core components of dissociative disorder are amnesia, derealization, depersonalization, identity alteration, and identity confusion. You should remember this. There is an identity alteration in fuse. A person moves away from the home and it's clean slate, and he takes the another person's identity and lives in like another person. It is part of the dissociative amnesia. So students, I hope you have understood very well about the dissociative identity disorder, dissociative disorders, and various somatic symptom disorders. Now, thank you students. I hope you have understood well.